Hello, I'm UK Airgunner, and this is just a brief revisit of the Wesson Revolver. So I've done my kind of little review, I suppose, on it. Wasn't really a review, it's just an overlook. But since then I have found and realised I missed out a couple of things. So first and foremost, I found my rail for it. So as I said in the previous video, you take off the rear sight here, so that's quite simple to do. You punch out this little pin here and then unscrew this screw away that's for adjusting elevation, unscrew that, and then it just sort of pulls off. There's a little spring in there as well, make sure you don't lose that. And yeah, then this rail just slips. You can see there the rails underneath, slips onto this piece here, and you can actually see I did manage to put it on once and tighten it, and I've got a little mark there now, which is slightly annoying, but there we are. So yeah, if you want to put on a red dot or something, that's probably the most likely. I don't think anyone will be putting massive scopes on this. Then yeah, so that's quite good. And then found the tiny little key for doing it up, so quite simple to do. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend over tightening it, because otherwise you end up with a little mark, but then again you kind of need to do it up fairly tightly so it doesn't move. So I don't know, I don't use it, so I can't really pass judgment on that. But yeah, quite a nice little rail there. The other thing was the actual cylinder. So what's one of the shells you get with it? It's quite nice. It's got Wesson written on the bottom there, and they slip in quite nicely, and you can see they sort of they do protrude a little bit from the sort of beveling, so that's what gets pushed right up against this plunger piece to create a nice tight seal, so you don't lose any CO2. Just going to put that on safe. And then just as a sort of comparison, I haven't got an inert 357 Magnum, but I have got an inert 38 Special, I think it is. So you can see, if I line up the bottom there, so you can see the Wesson shell is slightly longer because it's more comparable to the 357. But this is effectively a shorter version of a 357, and it chambers surprisingly well in there, so nice fit. And then as well you can see, because 357 doesn't quite come out as far as a 357 would, but it's pretty close. So I thought that might be quite interesting. Use the plunger there to put it out. And then the other thing you can do, as far as taking it apart is concerned, because I don't think I mentioned that in the previous video. Ooh, getting a funny light here. So to take it apart, I seem to remember, well, there's a couple of things you can do. You can take off the cylinder, which I'll do in a minute, and then you can take off the barrel as well, which makes it a little bit easier for getting to the inner barrel. And to do that, I think you just have to take out this one out of the two. I think it's just that one. You've got to take out this one as well, and that's the only two pins you've got to remove. This one though is very, very, very tight. That will require a hammer and a very small thin object as well, so don't do it unless you really feel it's necessary. And then as far as the cylinder is concerned, that's quite comparatively simple to take off. So you can unscrew this rod. Once again, make sure you don't lose any of the pieces. Pull that out. Okay. And then you kind of got to, oh, hang on, you can take out the star there as well. And then you've got to kind of wiggle it over. There's a little tab here you can see, which kind of is what prevents it from sliding off. But you can kind of, if I can do it, get it over that Come on. There you go, it's coming there. And there you go. So that's how you can get the cylinder off. And it's actually, I'm quite happy with this. It's quite a nice machined piece. I don't know what it's like compared to the Wesson 715 one, the new one. And there you've got a little spring as well that slips inside there. So that's quite cool. That you can do that. And then once again, just gently slide it back on. He says putting too much force into it. There we go. Cool. So that's pretty cool that you can do that. Let's put it back together. This has got some, you can see, some little notches, rails either side, so it does go in a specific way. And then this piece goes back in and screws back up. Got to make sure I do it the right way. I think it's that way, yeah. And then try and get this nice and tight so it doesn't loosen up on you whilst you're shooting. There we go. So that's quite nice and simple to be able to do. What was the other thing? Oh, and I was going to show you as well the grip, because it does take a little bit longer than the original grip would to change the CO2, because of course with the original all you have to do is pull back the back of the grip, and that's what allows you to gain access to the CO2 tab and slide out the CO2. So all this is you've got to take out this one brass screw, and then you pull off one half. There you go, you can see the inside all beautifully chiseled out to fit, and then take off the other side, and you're left purely with the down Wesson. And so now you can, you know, get your CO2 tab here and put in a new CO2 or whatever. So it doesn't take that much longer. It's a little bit more finicky, but yeah, yeah, I was very pleased with these. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So putting it back on. Okay. You can see there's enough room that's been left as well for that CO2 tab to fit in. And there we go. Make sure, oops, it's all lined up, and there you go. You push it together. Now put the screw back in. So quite nice. I don't know that I haven't tried looking for them again, oddly enough. Whether the guy in Taiwan is continuing to make them or making any other ones. But they are pretty cool, especially if you're going to use this as a display piece every now and then, as I do. And there we go, all back together. Yeah, pretty neat. Very happy with them. And they do feel so much better than the original grips. You can just get a better grip on it. You've got that nice sort of checkered surface there, and then even on the smoother surfaces you can still get a fairly good grip on it, and very nice. Okay, well that's pretty much all I wanted to cover. There's just a couple of little things that I missed out in the previous video, so thank you very much for watching. As always, if you want to see some awesome pictures of this airgun and my other airguns, then please follow me on Instagram. The username is UK_airgunner, or you can just click on the link below in the description. UK Airgunner, out.